Hey y'all, and welcome to the Ladywing Designs channel. My name is Zakia, and we are back today for another WIP update. Can you believe it? It's only been a week, which is crazy. I don't know, lately, like the last year, I've just not had a ton of videos coming out. But like I said last week on Instagram, after I put up the last WIP update, there was already like way more to show you because the last video was recorded in February. So I have a decent amount of stuff to show you. I feel like the episode won't be an hour, which is also kind of weird to say, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, but today is Friday, April the 15th, 2022. I hope that everyone is doing good, taking care of life. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Sending you all love and hugs and peace of mind wherever you can get it. Is that all I want to say? I think so. I'm kind of just like doing this because I actually feel like recording today, and I just finished a project this morning, which is the project I was waiting to finish before I filmed another WIP update. So yeah, we're just kind of going for it. I have notes, they're on my laptop. I didn't remember to write them down. So we're just gonna roll with it. But yeah, welcome to everyone, whether you're a returning or a new viewer. What am I looking for? So we're just gonna jump in. We're gonna start with some finishes, and so far this year, all of my finishes are cross stitch. I don't have a single knitting finish yet, which is fine. It's just different than the last couple of years because mostly because I haven't finished a pair of socks yet this year is why there's no knitting finish. So the last time that I recorded back in February, I think I had pretty much like just picked this piece back up, and I did indeed work on it until it was done. So this is Spring Tree, or I call it Spring Tree, but this is Spring by DianaShopUkraine, well, on Etsy. There's one of these for each season. I can show you two of them because they're actually on the same fabric. But yeah, spring is complete. And this was the last one in the entire series that I had to do. Did a little closer there. So I'm really excited that these are done now. I've not fully finished any of them because I was just waiting because I don't know how I'm going to finish them yet. This is the one for autumn. Oh, if you've been here a while, you know fall is my absolute favorite season. I was born in November, so you know that helps. And my favorite color is yellow, or really like mustard gold. So fall colors are perfect. And then here is the winter one. Summer was also stitched on this fabric, but I cut it off like pretty much right after I finished it back in 2018. So I could dig for it to show you, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So those, as you can see, they're all just on the same fabric. I don't really know how I want to finish these just yet. I haven't actually taken the time to think about it. What I might do is, since they are seasonal anyway, like maybe get them all ready to frame, like put them around cardboard or something, and just have like a single frame that I just switch them in and out of every season. Because they, like I said, they were all on the same fabric, which is 16 count white Aida. And I pretty much I used all DMC, and it's pretty much all of the called fors. Some of them got changed, but I don't remember the earlier ones, and the later ones I don't even know if I made note of them. So there's that. Okay, so that finish was in February. And then, y'all, I'm so excited to show y'all this. I finished the piece for my parents for the living room. I'm so excited about this. So I'm gonna hold it up a little closer here so you can see it. Let's see, deets. I started this back in October. They commissioned me to work on it while I was at home in September. And then, yeah, so I started it in October. And it was just so much fun, y'all. It's so much fun. This is Retro Media Collage by AnImCrossStitch, ANIM cross-stitch, on Etsy. Yeah, so there's the last row. And I love it. So I did enlarge the pattern. It is written to be 100 stitches by 100 stitches square. And my mom wanted a certain space on the wall filled. So we made the pattern bigger, you know, for it to fit that space on the wall. So basically for every stitch on the pattern chart, there are 4 stitches on here. And of course I'm like staring at it and not showing y'all. But I love this. I love it so much. So it's actually not fully finished. That was the other thing I was supposed to do before I recorded. We decided that we're gonna put our family name, so like not like our last name, but like our initials of everyone's first name, over here. It's something that we identify as a family, and we have for years. So that's gonna go in the corner of the TV, and then I'm thinking over here is where I'm gonna put my signature, since this is my work. I do definitely want to sign it. But yeah, so that is done. This is stitched 2/1 on 28 count. No, lies. 2/2. Oh my gosh. 2/2 on 28 count white Monaco, which is an even weave. And yeah, I love it. Floss tube itchy nose. Naturally. Also, oh my gosh, thank y'all so much for putting up with all the like sniffles and sneezes and stuff in that last video. Oh, now I've got serious floss tube itchy nose. That was a beast of an episode to edit. I remembered that it was like just over an hour, like around, it was like an hour and 15, the unedited video. And I was like, oh, you know, we're finally going to sit down and edit. It's going to be great. It shouldn't take too long. I forgot that was the one where all the sneezes happened. It took me 3 hours to edit that video, which is fine because I would not have wanted to leave those sniffles in, and I really wanted to use that video, so it's fine. I got through it. But yeah, I did not remember how the recording went, so it took a lot longer than expected. But thank y'all for sitting through however much of that you sat through and hanging out with me. I really appreciate that, which I always do, but especially during videos like that. And like there were sound edits and stuff because my laptop was being weird, so hopefully the laptop won't make weird noises today too much. Hopefully. And if you're hearing all the other outside noises and cars revving and all the things. The window's not even up. People are just being really loud today. Anyway, I'm looking at the time, but yeah. So this is finished and I'm so excited about it. I will show you the back. Excuse me. Naturally, I tried scratching my itchy nose and now I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my gosh. So here's the back. I worked each square individually because it fit perfect, like the squares fit perfectly inside of my 8x8 Q-snap. So I did each square in its entirety and then I moved on. So yeah, there it is. This is really simple too. Some of the squares have more backstitch in them than others, but all of the backstitch is super simple, and there's only 6 colors, so it was really fun. Definitely because we enlarged the pattern. Sometimes like working with these colors for like an extended amount of time was just really, really annoying, but I got through it. So I'll definitely have to edit that out. Okay. Seriously, I got floss tube itchy nose and now my nose is just running. It was perfectly fine before I started recording, y'all. Perfectly fine. So, oh, look, where's the other one? Okay. So, if you saw on Instagram, I posted earlier this week that I was working on the second one of Death Before Destash by Wild Violet Cross Stitch, Ryan. And there are indeed 2. So this is the first one. Yeah. So, and I will hold them up next to each other. There is no trickery happening. There are quite literally 2 of them. And I just love them. I love them so much. I love everything about this. So, also I really hope that YouTube catches that as my thumbnail. I'm going to keep holding them up so that it will. Also, I'm going to talk about them. So, both of these are using the exact same fabric, the exact same floss, and of course the exact same pattern. So, like I said, this is Death Before Destash by Wild Violet Cross Stitch. Both of them are stitched with DMC 111, which is a variegated color, as you can see, and they're on 14 count Mystic Aida from Picture This Plus. And both the floss and the fabric I got in the gift box of goodies. If you go back a few episodes, the title of it is brought to you by the gift box of goodies. I don't think I showed everything. Maybe I showed some, I don't remember, y'all. But anyway, a lovely viewer who has sent stuff before you can tell this is the second one because this one I like ironed over it a little bit when I finished it, and this one I just didn't care this morning. But yeah, a lovely viewer sent a giant box of goodies that had a bunch of crafting stuff in them. And both these 2 pieces of fabric and the variegated floss were in there. So I will hold them both up, also because my arms are getting tired now. But I will hold them both up a little closer so you can see them. Yeah, so I'm sure you could kind of tell when I was holding them both up. The words actually ended up coming out basically the same. Like a little brighter here, and then all of this is basically dark, and then Destash got brighter towards the end, and this one like pretty much did the same thing. So that part I love. And then like the top bits are like so totally different, and I love it. I love it. I do love in this one that the browns and the yellows, like they mixed in with each other a little more up here in the trees. And then both of them, and see this one, like there's more yellow in the center. But I also feel like that's very accurate of like a plant when it's dying. Like the parts that are closest to the water source are probably going to stay alive the longest. So I kind of love both of them. But yeah, and then on both of them, I put my signature in the same exact space in here inside the tree. So these two dots are stitches that are in the pattern. And then my signature is right next to it, ZJR, and then 2022. And like I said, this one's in the same exact spot because I discovered that one on the first piece, and I was like, you know, I love where the signature is, so I just did it the exact same on the other one. So yeah, there they are. I love it. And this one I did too. So, okay, first of all, the second one just got finished this morning, so I'm just like super excited that they're done now. Not because it wasn't a fun stitch, but I pulled the first one back out and finished it, and then immediately started the second one and worked on it entirely, so it's nice to be done with them. I loved them, but I'm definitely ready for another project. But yeah, so when I started this sometime last year, I don't remember when last year, I started this, and my mom loved it. She loved the color choice and everything. So she was like, oh, she didn't. This is the thing. When my mom says she likes stuff, sometimes I just end up giving her things or just doing stuff for her because she's my mom and whatever. I don't mind. Um, so she didn't even ask this time. I was just like, well, lucky for you, I have way more of this floss. Because I think there were like 8 or 9 skeins total, and I have only used like 1.5. So I still have a lot left, even now. But I was like, well, lucky for both of us, really. I had the 2 pieces of the exact same fabric, and they were both just big enough. Yeah, so I just made her one as well. And when I pulled this back out a couple weeks ago and had started on the second one, I sent her a picture of the first one because it was completed, and I was like, "Oh, remember this?" She didn't. It had been a while. So I sent her a picture of it and everything, reminded her. And then I was like, you know, I was thinking maybe you would love to put that like on the front of your inventory book because if you haven't been here before, my mom is also a crafter, but she does more of the paper crafts, scrapbooking, painting, like all of that. She also cross stitches, but she does it for the fronts of her cards because she also does card making. So I have examples, but I'm not getting up. So anyway, in her craft room, I linked this video last week, but I'll link it again because it's honestly one of my favorite videos I've ever done. But also, even if you just skip to just scan through to the part with my mom's craft room, I love it. It's like my favorite part of that entire video. But anyway, so she has a whole craft room, and she has an inventory book that she is about to work on updating with all of her new paints, getting rid of this cards for like supplies that she doesn't have anymore, and all of that stuff. So anyway, I gave her the idea to put Death Before Destash on like in the front slot of her inventory binder, and it was a good idea. She liked it, the idea, so I cannot wait to get that to her so she can we'll have to figure out how to finish it. I'm not sure. It'll be based on how she wants it to look and everything. But yeah, so those are done, and I'm super excited about that. And that's all of my finished objects. I did use 2 strands over one on Death Before Destash, and with variegated yarns, I liked what yarns? No, with variegated floss, I really enjoy just stitching 1x at a time, and I did that the entire time on both pieces. I just think that the variegation just looks cool. Like, it looks cool whatever way you stitch it, but for me that's just the way that I like to see the variegation form. So yeah. And then, okay, where do we go from there? Well, I guess I'll show you, while we're on cross stitch, I'll just show you what I'm planning on going to next. Okay, give me just a second. I gotta find it. Well, that's not great. Don't tell me I don't have a pattern for that. Do I not have a page for this? Oh, y'all, I was about to be very concerned. Of course there's no picture on here. Oh my gosh. This is not good. So anyway, while I find this to show you all, this is a project that I'm stitching along with a couple of my dear, two of my favorite people. Oh my gosh, words. I can't believe I don't have a picture of this on the project page for it. I'm gonna have to solve that. I can't believe there's not a what it's gonna look like picture. But anyway, so I'm stitching this along with two of my favorite people, Michelle Bindy Stitchy and Amy of Creativity by Gidge. We all have mini Cletus, and this is by Richard Lorenz. The artwork is by Richard Lorenz, and this is a Heaven and Earth Designs pattern. But Amy and I I don't remember when Michelle started hers. It was sometime last year. And then Amy and I started ours together on in May. It was the end of May during Mania. I didn't really, I don't even know if I really did Mania last year because I was working by that time. But Amy like slotted it in to her Mania because she was starting a bunch of stuff last year. And so we started it together. So again, it won't mean much when I show you because I have so much time. But that is mini Cletus. And that is what I have done. From when Amy and I floss, please. That is what I have done from when Amy and I started together. Tiny start. We were just chatting away and having a good time, catching up, and yeah, I kind of forgot that we were supposed to be stitching. And naturally, both Michelle and Amy have worked more on theirs since, so yeah, I'm really excited to pull this back out though. And this one does have a square on my WIP Go board that it got called for. So I know, I'll just sit this down. There's nothing for you to see there. It's a total of 72 stitches, y'all. I'm not even a full 1% in. Wow, what was I about to say? Oh, so on the last WIP update, I know that I said for WIP Go that for every square on both boards, it was 5 hours of work when they get called. I'm keeping that. I was updating my WIP Go boards after last week, and I also took the time because I almost couldn't remember what I needed to talk about in this video since February, and I realized that I really needed to start back keeping like a log of what I work on each day craft-wise. So I set up those calendars in my spreadsheet again. That's all fabulous. It's nice to have those again. And anyway, so the WIP Go boards, the non-full coverage is still just 5 hours of work. But the full coverage, I was gonna like change the wording how I have it set up on my spreadsheet. I have like my goal listed off to the side, and I was gonna change the wording on that one for full coverage to say 5 hours of work, and then I thought about it, and I have a lot of BAPs, and most of them are full coverage. So I left the full coverage WIPs at 5 days because they need it. I miss them. For me, like, if I just put in one stitch, that's like that day counts as a day. Like if I just did one stitch right now and I didn't touch it again all day, I'm counting that as a day I've worked on it. So yeah, I'm really excited to have this back out. The first page is a lot of the same colors, so I just pulled 3. I only have 4 on this list. I wrote this out back when Amy and I started it together. I just wrote a couple of the colors for me to get up and find. And then as you can see, apparently these 4 colors account for like the first 2100 stitches that I could do without having to go find other colors. So yeah, so that's gonna help. Okay, nothing is ever really in a project bag, so I always forget to say these things. This is the very first Love You More Studio book sleeve that I ever got, and Bindi Stitchy got us thinking about these as project bags for our cross stitch, and I still absolutely love this idea. So this was the very first one that I got. It says, "Creativity is messy, and I am very creative." I just thought about this quote the other day because it's so true. Yeah, so there's that. And then this is a Floss Buddy flip. Michelle, remind me, are these the Bindi flips? I don't remember. But anyway, I think it is. Maybe these are the Bindi flips. Regardless, these are by Karina at Bags Plus, Bags with a Z. And she's in the UK, and I love these. So there's a whole nother project back here that still needs to be finished. But as you can see, they have the little slot, vinyl slot, and then these have 12 slots up here for you to stick your floss into. And it's fabulous. I love them. Seriously, these 2 things, like, brilliant. Never would have thought of it myself, and I love them so much. So yeah, really excited. I'm going to be working on Cletus later today. I'll probably be knitting on, well, between 1 of 2. Anyway, I'll probably knit while I edit, and then I'll switch to Cletus, I think. I'm going to set that over here. Okay. So that's what's up next for cross stitch. Let's jump to, let's actually do some spinning, because I only have the one thing. I got smart, and also because I'm in the middle of apply, so I am, I take it back. Sorry, teaser. We're not going to do spinning just yet. I remember why I wanted to save it for last, and I'm going back to that. Anyway, scratch that. We're going to talk knitting next. Okay, so UFO, an unfinished object. Basically, I'm frogging this. This is the Zauberball sock that I showed y'all. here we go, that I showed y'all last time in these beautiful colors. This is a single ply, and I picked it back up the other day, and I just got barely started. You can't even really tell because it was like 3 repeats of the heel flap. I started on the heel flap, and I was just like, you know, if something keeps nagging me and telling me not to make this yarn into socks, I'm gonna listen to my instincts. So we're gonna frog that, and I will figure out what I want to do with it at some point. I'm gonna frog it. That's who's gonna frog it. Okay. And then I haven't even touched these in a minute, but these are the socks that I was working on when the Zauberball kind of disappeared in the first place. So these I think I have a picture of before I ripped them out, because this is actually my second time starting with this yarn. So okay, I took a picture. I did not put it on Ravelry, so give me just a second. I shall scroll back and find it. Or maybe I won't. Y'all, I know I took a picture of this. Oh my gosh. At least I meant to. This is not good. Okay, y'all. Okay, maybe I don't. Oh my gosh. That's frustrating because I told myself, hey, take a picture of this while... Yeah, I apparently did not take a picture. Anyway, I started these, so I started these while I was with family. I'll get to that later. And I was going to do ribbed socks for me with a 3x1 rib, so knit 3, purl 1. And then my mom actually had a pair of the socks that I knit her, and she was wearing them that day, and I decided after family had split up again, I decided to rip out the rib pattern that I had started, and I'm just doing plain vanilla socks now for my mom. So these are the 2 yarns that I'm using. This is... I'm pretty sure this is Trekking XXL, and I don't know the colorway. And this I thought was Trekking XXL. It is not. It's Lion brand Sockies in the Toffee colorway, maybe. So that is what I used for the heel, and it might also get used for the toe. I haven't worked on these yet in a while because I'm getting closer to the end of the foot, and I need to weigh this so that I will know if I can do the toe in the main color or if I need to add in the contrast color again. But I love these. The striping sequence kind of reminded both of us, of the socks that she was wearing that day. So I decided, you know, these are for her. And that's fine. I don't mind that at all. So yeah, that's those socks. These I'm knitting on US 00 1.75 millimeter ChiaoGoo Mini Twist. There we go. Can you tell I haven't really recorded and talked about needles in a while? It's crazy. So I discovered when I was starting these socks and I was working on them, I happened to notice, let me see if I can show you so that y'all will get what I'm saying. Yeah, so do you see on this needle how they're, nope, well now you don't. Well, oh, that's because it's facing me now. Do you see how on the needle. Y'all, this is so hard. I feel like you can see it for like 2 seconds. Anyway, do you see this down here near my finger? There are like those two black little fingerprint weird looking things. It stands for 00. So if you ever look at your ChiaoGoos, they do that so you can tell what it is. Because I have some single zero needles, and there's only one of them on there. And also, I used to knit socks on 000s, and there are 3. Anyway, it's to tell you how many zeros it is. But yeah, anyway. So these are 00, and when I was starting this sock again for the second time, I realized that I was on 00 needles and not US 0, which is a 2mm. And yeah, I now remember that I only have one set of US 0 tips, so I still need to get another one. But it's fine. Like, I was still knitting 60 stitches even when I was on 1.75, so if anything, I just need to double check that they will actually kind of fit her feet. So I'm thinking about going home next week. So whenever I do take a trip back to Tennessee, I will be I'm gonna like finish the first sock or even leave it at this point and have her try them on so we can see how they fit before I go ahead and finish stuff off. So there are those socks. I really need to weigh them so that I can go ahead and finish those. And then I started a new pair of socks today because I haven't really been wanting to work on those for my mom. And again, like, I'm at the point where I need to weigh the skeins and I just keep forgetting to. But I've always been a person that likes to have 2 socks on the needles. So I started a new pair of socks. Also because I UFO'd the Zauberball, and therefore I had a 9-inch circular needle empty. I say that like I have more than one. This is the only 9-inch circ I have. It is also ChiaoGoo brand, and it is a US 0, which is 2mm. So the yarn that I'm using, the main yarn that I'm using, is Knit Picks Felici in Beyond the Wall. This is the last skein of Felici that came in the gift box of goodies. I thought that I had knit up all of the skeins that were in there, and I guess I just got sidetracked by other yarns last year with socks, and I just completely did not even notice that this was in there. I went searching for something in that box, and I found it, and I was like, I thought I had knit all the Felici already. Apparently I had not. So this is what this skein looks like, the Beyond the Wall skein. Again, this is the one I'm going to use for the main color. And these socks will be for me. I really like this colorway. So these, because I want to make these a little bit longer, I want to actually use up half of the skein for each socks and get them as long as I can. So I pulled out 3 minis from my stash. I have a bag, a Ziploc bag in one of my cubbies that is just a bunch of like solid little mini skeins or scraps, because this is actually a scrap from a shawl. But anyway, yeah, so I keep those in there of just solid stuff or tonal stuff for heels, toes, and English. Heels, toes, and cuffs. My brain is working a lot faster than my mouth, and it's like not working out. But anyway, yeah, so this is a dark gray. It's just showing up as more of a black on here, which it is. It's pretty close, but it's not black. So there are those colors. So I think those will match really well. And so what I'm gonna do as far as picking, because all of these this was the biggest one, but it was only like 9 grams. And I think this one was 8 and this one's like 6. So, that's also the reason I picked out 3 different colors, just in case one of them ran out. So what I decided to do, the main skein started with the darkest color that's in the skein. So I decided that I would start with the light gray. So it was between the blue and the light gray. And then I looked, because at first when I just looked at the skein, I thought the gradient would go this way from the black with how it was wound up. I figured it would go back that way. And then I actually like looked more and paid attention, and as you can see, the next color, it goes back the other way, right? So back towards the blues and all of that, and then comes back to the gray to go to the like blackish color. So since I knew it was going to go to the like blues first, I decided to do the toe in the light gray mini. And I don't remember where this came from, sorry. Yeah, so there's that. I've just done the first stripe on the foot, so I'm not too far along just yet. But I'm really excited. I do miss easy sock knitting on these 9-inch circs, so it'll be exciting. Yeah, and then what I'm going to do as I get to the heel and the cuff is whatever color is like right there before I'm going to put in one of the contrast minis. I'll just make sure that it's not, you know, the same color that's right there. And we're just going to go like that. Excuse me. I don't really care if both socks match. Like, they're going to be the same 3 minis with the same main color. I'll know they match. Yeah, so that is that. Super excited to have an easy sock back on the needles. Put all my stuff back in here. This project bag, oh wait, there's a tag in here, so let me take everything out actually. And I'll just show you the tag real quick. Flip it inside out. So this is a little sock sack. It's one of my favorites. It was like buried over here in the craft corner, and I'm so glad that I emptied it out. So this bag is by Diana Couture. I actually don't know if they're still making bags or anything. I'll have to check when I do the show notes. And you can find, you can find links to everything. You can find links to the shops that I mention stuffing from down below. I won't link everything. I used to link all the designers' shops and stuff too, and it's just a lot. After I finally type everything, to still go back and link. But I do at least write down all the details, pattern name and designer, and I put the fabric and the general floss in the description box below. Yeah, I am really, which I always have been, but I am really thinking more about getting back into the blog, and actually doing more blogging with it instead of just WIP update show notes. So we'll talk more about that later too, if I remember, hopefully. But anyway, I got this bag from a friend a few years ago, and it's one of my favorites. Like I said, I'm glad it's resurfaced again. There we go. I almost said submerged, and that's not. It's the exact opposite of what I meant. So anyway, put all this stuff back in here. This is the bag that I would take to the park with me, and I would just have it on my arm because it has a little nice handle back here, and the top is made as such, so there's an opening on the side and a hole in the center. And especially for socks, I like to pull the yarn up through the center so that it kind of pulls more evenly. This is especially important if you have like balls of yarn or cakes. I think it pulls better from the center. This Knit Picks cake is not going to go in. I would have to have it open because the Knit Picks shape just rolls around weird. But yeah, I like to do this and then just hang it on my arm, and then if it's just stockinette, I can just walk and knit. So I'm really excited because it's definitely warm here again. It's also definitely rainy season, which is my least favorite season, but well, besides winter. But I've also been really wanting to get back to walking at the park again. So excited to have that on the go because that is perfect, like reading or watching something, knitting. So that'll be good because I'm also, y'all, I somehow ran up on my old book blog the other day. Not that it has ever disappeared or I've ever forgotten about it, but I haven't really visited it in a while. And then I started like reading old posts and stuff, and it's like I told my boyfriend, I seriously forgot how cool I was in middle school, and not like around my peers in real life, but like in the book world. Yeah, I'll leave a link below to my book blog. Keep in mind, I haven't posted anything since 2013. Like it's super old, but yeah, I just love it. Yeah, like looking around and stuff, it just made me miss the blogging and like reading stuff, and yeah, it was super cool. But anyway, that's got me thinking about books again, and wanting to do more audiobooks and just generally get back into reading. So a lot of stuff happening. That goes to that. Okay, so is this it? This might be it. Okay, so I have 2 things of haul and one more thing for coming up, and then we're gonna talk about some spinning. I love how I said it's not gonna be an hour and we're at 47 minutes. Whatever. Anyway, whatever. I I know I like to ramble. I don't even know why I thought about it. Oh, other way. So this is the Close to You shawl by Justina Lorkowska. If that's not the right designer, I'm gonna put it on the screen, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Close to You by Justina Lorkowska. And I started this, I don't know, sometime last year. This is another gift from the gift box of goodies. If you see me like look over there when I mention it, it's because I'm looking at the box. So this, is this the tag? Shout out to me for keeping it right here. So this is Urban Girl Yarns. Here we go. That's better. This is Urban Girl Yarns. In their 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon base, and the colorway is First Lady Michelle Obama, which I love that I have a skein inspired by Michelle Obama. I absolutely love that. So, yeah, so this is where I got to. I'm just using this one skein for the pattern. It is a paid for pattern. But it's so good, y'all. I'm definitely gonna, I can definitely see me making another one of these. So it's just a simple asymmetrical triangle shawl. There we go, words, with this really cool lacy edging. And yeah, so this is going to be coming back out, I think. Even though I just started the socks today, I think I'm actually going to pull this back out. I don't know, I'm loving seeing it. Maybe it's because it's spring now and like all the bright colors are coming back around. I don't know, but I really want to work on this again. So depending on how obsessed I get with it, I think this is going to be our next craft with me. I think I'll work on this. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't completely decided yet because it could also very well be spinning. Yeah, so I told you what the yarn is. It's fingering weight. And yeah. Oh, the needles that I'm using. No, I did not. Some things I like sit aside for videos and showing off, and then I just get lucky because like I don't throw them away too early because sometimes I still want to reference them and they're still there, thank goodness. But these needles, I'll kind of pull them up so you can see them, are Prim needles. I got these at Michael's. So I actually heard about these needles years ago. Yeah, like 4 years ago. I heard about these and I had wanted to try them because they're supposedly good ergonomic needles. I haven't worked on this in so long that I don't remember if I felt like there was a difference or not. Also with the shawl, I am knitting it English style, which is not my first most confident way of knitting. So, yeah, now I'm like, oh no, oh my gosh, y'all. Somebody tell me I can't knit anymore. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm like losing, I just realized that like I'm totally sitting here losing stitches. It's fine. I was gonna start a row on this and got 2 stitches in and realized I should probably pull the pattern back up and then got distracted and never brought the pattern back up. So anyway, I love this edging. This will definitely be coming out again soon. Yeah, so all that to say, I found these at Michael's. I definitely will have to pay attention to these when I go to work with them, just to see if I can kind of tell a difference. Yeah, it does kind of make me want to pull out another project, like first, like a shawl or something, on my usual needles, just to see if I can actually feel a difference, but also I want to work on this, so that probably won't happen. So that is what's coming up next in knitting. So I have 2 things of haul. Since we're on the knitting train, we'll talk about this first. I went to Walmart the other day to get groceries, and I never really buy cotton for myself, but I really want some washcloths. I don't know, like I just really want some handmade ones. And maybe it was really that I just wanted, sorry, all the sniffing. The sniffles are really attacking. But yeah, I just kind of want some, I don't know if I just said dishcloths, but washcloths from my face slash body. And yeah, so I bought a couple of these. So they're Peaches and Cream Original. It's a worsted weight, and these are 56.7 grams or 95 yards each, approximately. And this colorway is Oasis. So I got 2 of these. Now that I think about it, thank goodness they're the same dye lot. I just kind of compared them visually. I didn't even think to check the dye lot. I clearly have not been a serious knitter for a while. But yeah, I'm really excited about these to start working on them. The needles that I want to use are, so the needles that I want to use are the same ones that I'm using for my little charity blanket squares, the Takumi, Clover Takumi bamboo DPNs, and they're a US size 6, which is a 4mm. Yeah, and I haven't started this because I was like, oh, well, I need to, I need to finish using those 2 needles in order to start a new one. And at the time that was correct because I didn't have the other DPNs with me. I'm only using the 2 on the blanket squares. It's a pack of 5, and I'm like looking at the rest of the needles. I'm like, actually I could start these dishcloths if I wanted to. So I might actually do that. I am kind of still feeling like knitting a little bit. So I think that's what's gonna happen. So maybe these will actually be what's up next, and then we'll go back to the shawl. I might actually just work on these first, because I don't know, I just kind of just want to work on them. I'm just gonna do the diagonal dishcloth pattern. No, I'm not. I'm going to do seed stitch patterned washcloths because it has a lot of texture in the fabric that's created, and I feel like for me I like really textural washcloths. I don't know. I just like how they feel on my skin. So yeah, at first I was gonna do like the usual like grandma's dishcloth pattern that's just like the square one that you knit from corner to corner. Then I decided we're gonna do seed stitch because I think I like that better. So the other thing of haul that I got is in this bag. I am so excited for this. So if you watched the last episode, you'll remember that I finished The Power of Love, which I borrowed from Michelle Bindi Stitchy. And she so sweetly offered to kit up and send me the pattern. It's back here. For Owl Forest Embroidery, and the English title is Monster Wonder Whale by Owl Forest Embroidery. I have loved this pattern since it came out. It's just amazing. And thank you so much, Michelle, for letting me borrow this. Oh my gosh. I'm really excited. So, Michelle got the kit. And so there are some of the kit flosses in here. I'm guessing the ones that she had enough left of. And then the parts that she kitted up, y'all, almost all of these are silk. I can't even. Also, can we just talk about this color because it's gorgeous. It's showing, well, it is a lot of orange, but it's definitely got some lighter bits in there too. But y'all, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So I think that, and then she did also send fabric. This, I don't know if she put on here what it is. Let me see. She did leave me a little note. No, but I think when I was looking at it, I think it's maybe a 36 count. I'm thinking, and I think it's getting blown out a little bit. Yeah, it's a little darker than the wall. It's not quite the same color. But yeah, so I'm so excited about this. I think that this is going to be my project for May. So I was thinking about doing like a monogamous May. And mostly work on this so I can try to get it done. But I basically just finished a month of monogamous stitching, or not basically, I did. During the month of March, the only cross-stitch project that I worked on at all was the retro media collage. Because I was like really trying to hustle through and get it done for my parents, and I'm so glad that it's done. But I don't know, I was thinking about that this morning, about, you know, going through with the monogamous thing for this in May, and I don't know that that I want to make myself stick to one project again for a whole month. That's a lot. I definitely need to be touching more than one project. So I haven't completely figured that out. I was also thinking maybe I could do a bracket style thing for March, for May, like a lot of people do in March because of March Madness, or along with March Madness rather. So I don't know. I'm still just thinking everything over. I don't know. Should probably figure it out though because half the month is gone. How is that? Yeah. Okay. So the last thing to talk to you about, and then we'll just chat and catch up just a little bit. So I have indeed been spinning. And I went ahead and started the second ply with this fiber. So last time I showed you the first single done on while it was still on the spindle words. So yeah, not soon after I edited, I was like, you know what, I really just want to spin again, and I finally know the problem with Gertrude. I knew the problem with Gertrude months ago, but I just kept thinking, oh, but what if it's something else? But what if it's something else? And I don't think it is. So who knows? Maybe I'll do a little vlog or something when I fix the bobbins. That would be interesting content, I think. I've never done it before, so it'll be real interesting, that's for sure. I think so anyway, but regardless, so I took the first turtle off of the spindle, and you can kind of see, yeah, so you can see the hole there where the shaft of the spindle went through, and yeah, you literally just take it apart and pull the pieces out, and you're left with this. So it's just been sitting on the table waiting, because it's only the first of 4. So here is where I am right now. I actually would like to compare. Interesting. Yeah, it's definitely getting there. It is definitely almost the same height. So I don't know if y'all can kind of see that there. Yeah. Oh gosh, now there's fiber floating around. So this is where I am right now. Right now most of it is gray. You can see some of those fall colors back near the beginning. I hope some of these strands have enough twist. And as you can see, I'm really proud of myself. I didn't think I was going to be able to spin so thin on this, but I'm really, really enjoying it. So this is the last piece, right? Yeah. This is the last piece of this second single. So I'm probably gonna be finishing this, if not today, probably this weekend. Forgot to show you. This is a one-of-a-kind grab bag. Well, it's not really a grab bag because it is 4 ounces. But it's a one-of-a-kind braid from Nest Fiber Studio, and it's 100% organic polework. So, yeah, I'm just, y'all, I'm enjoying it so much. It's so good to work on. I figured while we catch up a little bit, that I would just spin some, kind of keep my hands busy while I talk. Sorry. Naturally, I'm like, yes, we're gonna spin, but I'm not actually ready. I think this would be better, so that I can at least spin over the floor a little more and not necessarily over the couch. But yeah, just catching up on some life stuff. I don't always talk about life updates and I mean about me, but also just like stuff in the news and everything. And it's not to say that I mean sometimes I just really don't know what's going on, y'all. Um, but yeah, um, I see the things that are happening, and I'm just very emotionally fragile so far this year. So, you know, forgive me for not talking about a lot of that stuff, but yeah, it's just a lot. I'm still processing, and I'm not even gonna lie, some of it I'm avoiding because it just definitely affects me emotionally, you know. So, am I shying away from it? Kinda, yeah. But just know that I'm keeping everyone in my thoughts and just sending love to so many situations. I feel like there's just so much going on. And I realize that y'all cannot see the spindle. This is gonna just, we're gonna see how this goes. um, but anyway, so personally, in my life, yeah, so I did the vlog at the beginning slash end of the year, um, at the year change there, and so after that I spent a few more days in Tennessee with my parents, and then and brother, my parents and my brother, and then I came back down to Alabama, and about the middle of January, my great grandma went into the hospital. She had COVID, and I'm not gonna go into grave detail or anything. She beat COVID. She didn't have COVID anymore. She had gotten better from that. But it complicated organ functions for her. And she went to ICU once, I think. Yeah, but fast forward, it was a really hard February, to say the least. And she passed away on March the 6th. So that was, and still is, really, really hard. But, you know, we're all grieving at our own paces and just working through feelings and, you know, taking care of ourselves. But yeah, it was just so unexpected. So March pretty much flew past after that. I mean, the whole year so far has flown by. I still don't know how we're halfway through April. But yeah, it was just really sudden. None of us expected it. So that just kind of hit the family hard. And I mean, if I'm being honest, that's the biggest thing that's happened so far this year. Yeah. And so, you know, we're recovering from that. I was going to say so to speak, but I mean, it really is. I feel like grieving is a process of recovering. I don't know. Maybe those words have the wrong connotation, but hopefully you guys get what I'm trying to say. But yeah, and so March just kind of flew by after that. I was already kind of on the other, you know, on the upswing from kind of a depressive month or set of weeks, whatever. And then that all happened. And so I spent March working on the family project to get that done, and worked on the socks for my mom some until I got to the point that I'm at now, which you saw. And now I am looking for jobs again. So yeah, I had an interview this week, and I have one next week. So I'm hoping those go well, or that the next one goes well, and that hopefully something will come out of them. And yeah, I mean, I've pretty much just been leaning really, really heavily on my crafts. Yeah, that's too short. So you know, life. Life, man, it just keeps going. So yeah, working on finding work, and like I said, I want to visit my family. I think next week. And oh, I'm a dummy. I can't go home next week. I can't. I was gonna go home like in the middle of the week because I don't have school and I'm not working. So I can, do that for just a little bit longer. But the interview next week is in the middle of the week. So anyway, things are starting to look up, and I'm feeling like I'm kind of getting back to what feels like normal. Overall, it's just been a really, really tough few months mentally and emotionally. But I'm getting through it, and my crafts are most definitely keeping me sane. Also, because I'm not really talking about it, but if you're wondering, I am spinning and making yarn. So right now, so if you take your yarn and you like kind of split it at an end or even in the middle, if you kind of pinch it apart, there's probably like more than one string that you're going to find, right? And those are called, each one of those is a ply. So like sock weight yarn, a lot of the times it's 4-ply yarn. So if you pull it apart, it'll have 4 little smaller strings all twisting around each other. So those smaller strands are what I'm making right now. These are singles. I will go back and forth between calling them singles or calling them like the first ply or the second ply or whatever. And that's all I mean by that. There's those smaller strands over in the yarn that are all twisting around each other. So this one that I'm spinning, I am doing a 4-ply yarn. So I split the fiber when I was prepping it before I started spinning. I split it into 4 equal parts, well, not completely equal, but 4 parts that are basically an ounce apiece, because it was a 4-ounce braid. And so I prepped it by splitting it into an ounce each, and now those 4 ounces I'm gonna spin separately into singles. And then after all the singles have been spun, I will not on this, I won't be doing it on this spindle, but at least I don't think. I'm probably not. But then I will take all 4 of the singles and twist them around each other. And you go in the opposite direction. So like for these singles, you spin them all in one direction. And then when you join them all together, you spin the device in the other direction. And it keeps everything balanced. But yeah, so I still have a good bit to go. Because like I said, this is only the second single. I still have 2 more after this, and each single I like to let rest. You don't have to let them rest, but it's a lot easier to ply if you let them rest. So I like to let my singles rest on the spindle or on the bobbin, whatever I spun them onto. I like to let them rest there, and then take them off, you know, a couple weeks or months later, whatever the case may be. At the very least, I like to let stuff rest for at least 24 hours, or close to it. At the least. Sometimes I'm like, but I just want this project. So at the very least, I make myself wait 24 hours. But it helps it when you go to ply, if you let it rest. And then after I ply, I also let the yarn rest just a little bit. And then, not that it really matters, because, you know, it does, because it makes it easier to like wrap around my Swift and everything before putting it in the bath. It helps if it's been resting a little bit after the ply, but when you put it in the water, the twist activates again anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Also, yeah, like, have y'all even been able to see the spindle the whole time? I don't know. I don't know. Sorry if you couldn't. But don't worry. This does not count as the spinning craft with me. Do not worry. I am gonna be. We might actually do that for the next craft with me. We might just work on this project, and I'll just have to set up my tablet on my tripod, and I'll just stand up. That way y'all can actually see me, or see the spindle a little better. But it's fine. I mean, you can at least see me drafting, so it's not completely boring, I hope. But yeah, let's see, an hour and 18. I'd say this is a pretty good length video. I can't think of anything else that I need to update you on, or anything. You guys, I forgot a whole project. Okay. So I'm gonna show you all this project, and then we'll call the video. I'm so glad I looked over here again. I cannot believe I forgot this, y'all. So one of my favorite Twitch streamers is 8-Bit Emmy. Did I do that right? Yes. Is 8-Bit Emmy. And 8 is spelled out. It's not the number 8. I will leave a link to her Twitch channel below. And she's also the same name on Instagram, if you want to follow her over there. But Emmy is known for her... Okay, that was a really big sneeze. Emmy is known for her pixel art crochet blankets. So she does granny square blankets, but like the individual granny squares, right, that you're joining together. She does the join as you go method, instead of sewing them all up separately. But regardless, so she does granny square blankets, but they're pixel art. So maybe at this point I'll have put something on the screen, or you know what? No, I'm not. So these are all of the blankets that she has done / is working on right now. So a bunch of Pokemon, and I actually started following her. I found her when she was working on the Snorlax blanket. And she did a Ravenclaw baby blanket. She just finished a 1-Up mushroom. And this is actually a cross-stitch pattern from another Twitch streamer in the community, Pix Stitch. So P-I-X, like pixel, P-I-X _ stitch. So this is actually his pattern, and someone like won it in his channel, and then also won a giveaway from Emmy and wanted that pattern as a blanket. So she just finished this last month, and now her main project is this Triforce blanket for another viewer. Anyway, oh, here's the one-up mushroom, so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So this is the blanket. So as you can see, like it's all a bunch of granny squares that she's joined together, again, as she makes them, not after the fact. And it's pixel art, right? Basically giant cross stitch, but done with crochet. I love it. So, I have been watching her do these for a while now, and I just kept saying, you know, that would be really, really... Here's my other spindle. It's getting acquainted with my blanket. So, I got really inspired, and I have been for a while wanting to make another modular blanket anyway, and I already have a second Cozy Memories going with my Harry Potter themed yarn. So I decided, because, you know, watching her crochet, of course, made me want to crochet granny squares. So I got inspired, and I have started a crochet scrappy blanket. And there will definitely, it's not going to be like this Cozy Memories where each square, each colorway was only in there once. It is, stuff's definitely going to get used more than once, and I'm totally okay with that. So I'm using a size G hook, which is, this one is a 4.25 millimeter. You'll find G hooks that are either 4.25 millimeters or 4.0 millimeters. It's weird. This one is a 4.25. I'm gonna lose this. Sorry. Sorry for the clinking. I have to put it back on the table or I will lose it. I have a smaller, I have a 2.75 millimeter hook. I don't know where it disappeared to, that I bought to go with, to work on fingering weight with. So I don't know where it went to, but it's fine. But yeah, so here are the squares so far. Like I said, I'm using a 4.25 millimeter hook, and these are 6 rounds each. And like Emmy, I am joining them as I go because honestly, it's so much easier. It's so much easier. And then the other thing that Emmy does for each square, and I'm a little behind on these last 3 because I just didn't feel like doing them that day, but I still have to weave these in. So I'm hoping I'll keep this up because it really does make a lot more sense. She weaves in the ends for each square. This is the back side now that I'm showing you. There are no ends besides these 6 down here on this new row. She weaves in the start and the finish tail for each square after that square is done. As she says, hate yourself now, don't hate yourself later, right? If you're not a big fan of weaving in ends and such, just make yourself do those 2 ends right now and get that square done, and then you don't have to think about it. And I love that. Like I said, besides these 3, everything is woven in, and I kind of did that the first day I started too. I got like 5 or 6 squares done, and then I was like, okay, but now you can't do anything until you go back and weave these in. And since then, I have been weaving them in after every square, and I really like it. So I'll show you the front again. So yeah, this is the blanket so far. This is, like I said, there's 6 rounds each, 6 rounds in each granny square, and it's 10 squares across. So it's pretty big. I'm really, really excited about this. So I gotta get back to it. I haven't worked on it in a little bit. I did the first 3 rows within like a couple days because I was just so in love with it. And I still am. I've just been distracted by other things. So, oh, no, see, I thought those 2 were the same, but they're just very similar colors. They're not the same. But yeah, it's really fun to revisit a bunch of these yarns again and remember what projects they were and where I got them from, and just good times, good memories. It's still basically a Cozy Memories blanket, just in a different craft with a different method because it's not a mitered square. yeah, so the minis that I'm using for these are just all of my fingering weight scraps, besides the ones that I have saved away for heels, toes, and cuffs. Those I don't dip into. But I have 4 gallon-sized Ziploc bags full of scraps, 4 of them. So I can't really take this project anywhere because I like to have all 4 bags with me to sift through for the next color. Sometimes I'll like kind of find a line of them that I like and I'll like have a few planned out, but that doesn't really, I pretty much just look after every square for what's coming next. So I can't really take this one anywhere. This was some Felici and I love how it worked up. But yeah, so hopefully there will be more of that in the future. And now that really is it. I cannot believe this is still an hour and a half. Y'all, I just need like somebody to be here yelling at me. Like I need a timekeeper is what I need. But anyway, again, I'm sending y'all so much love, so many hugs. And hopefully I will be back again next week, cross our fingers, with another video, and that one I think will be a craft with me, because now that we're actually caught up on crafty stuff and like I'm about to kind of focus on just a couple projects for the rest of the month. I know like after Cletus I'm gonna try to work on Cletus for 5 days and get the WIP Go square done, and then I already know what's coming out next and will more than likely be the project for the rest of the month. So anyway, look forward to that, and I will chat with y'all hopefully real soon. Oh my gosh, okay, so I was totally gonna, you know, be all buying stuff. I need like an ending line. I don't know. I need something. I was thinking about this for Twitch too whenever I do start streaming. Like, I've always felt like my videos, I do not have like a line, a nice line to end with, like a catchphrase or something, and I don't know. We're gonna work on that this year. Maybe that's this year's goal for the channel. But yeah, so anyway, I hope y'all have, oh my gosh, I hope y'all have a fabulous weekend. If you celebrate Easter, I hope you have a fabulous Easter weekend. I keep forgetting today is Good Friday. And today is also Passover, so happy Passover to anyone that celebrates. And yeah, I hope everyone has a good weekend. Enjoy those days off if you have them. And the spring weather, if it has bombarded you like it has us here. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.